My name is Avery Fletcher, and it's time to set things right. It's high time for this to end. For too long, I've been on the back wing, whether it's by Kathleen or her crony Shiva. Now is not the time for consideration. Now it's the time to act. I will save my father before Eden can kill him. I will right the wrongs Kathleen Johnson has done. I will do this, or die trying. How, you ask? Well, not as myself, but as Screecher.
All right, welcome everybody. This is Lethal Nonsense Podcast number 21 with a special guest here, Nick Gibson of the Phoenix Press. How are you doing?
Fine and dandy like sour candy.
Glad to hear it. It's been a while since we've done one of these. I think the last one kind of ended in a shit show, if I'm not mistaken, that didn't get released, unfortunately, or like half of it got released. And then actually the first one was pretty great. Wait a second. Oh, wait, you've been on here multiple times, haven't you?
Yeah, I think correct me if I'm wrong, I think the first time we did this over Skype, and like the second time we did over Discord. The Skype one I think went fine. The Discord one was a bit of a shit show, like you said. But we live and learn,
Yeah, and actually now I was just thinking about it. I think we did 2 on Discord. One of them with my my former friend Jason, and then another one with Lance and one of my other friends from the Navy.
Okay.
So, if I'm not mistaken, but yeah, this is episode number 4 with you now. So, I guess for our viewers, go ahead and give us a little bit of an update. What are you working on? What you got going on, and anything else?
All right. So my name is Nick Phoenix. I run the Phoenix Press. We do comics. Recently released a novel, Lost Kingdom. That's been going out to the backers. It's been really sweet. We got the 4th issue of Screecher coming out here in October. That's going to be really freaking awesome. That one is about 60 to 7% done at the time. It will be done before the campaign, and and also I have Rat, so I have Pet.
Pets are adorable.
Yes.
I had read your Cyberpunk comic, which I actually enjoyed, and then you saw how I bought it on the Discord. Actually, I'm not familiar with Screecher. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that one?
So Screecher is probably my most popular comic. Like I started with Project Access, which is coming back next year. By the way, we're kind of finally working on issue 2 after 5 years. But Screecher is kind of like a female Batman kind of thing. Like she comes home to her hometown of Ann Arbor, Michigan, that's 7 years away. Her father had been jailed for a crime did not commit. And now left with another option. She becomes the winged defender Screecher and try and clear his name.
Interesting. So, you said you're on which issue? Number 2?
Issue 4, and this is the
Issue
end
4.
of Volume 1. So
end of Volume 1.
So you're actually coming in at a really good time, because if you get all 4 issues, you're getting the complete story here, my friend.
Oh, perfect. It's kind of like the same thing I do with TV shows. Everybody will talk about a TV show, how great it is, and I won't get into it until like 3 years later, and then I just binge the whole thing. So I'll definitely be getting some of those Screecher issues. Actually, I got to finish up your Cyberpunk one. I've just been so
There's
busy
4
with,
issues of that one. We still needed to finish. We still need to get around to doing issue 5. It's just the issue 4 one underperformed a little bit, so it's been on hold a little bit.
It's all good. We'll we'll still be on the lookout for them for sure. Um, so I guess take us through like the creative processes. Like how does it go? You know, because I don't really know anything about writing a comic. Um I'm 70,000 words into a novel, but I don't know really much of
Oh,
anything
that's
about
pretty
writing a
deep.
comic. Say what?
See, I'm the reverse. Like, but when I did my novel, um, I kind of started in 2018. Then I like would let it down for a few years and picked up during COVID. Then it sat for a few years so I could get an editor. Um, so comics I'm more well versed in. Basically, the initial idea can come from anything. So the idea for Screecher was basically a reaction to Turn Samurai because like I'd be selling like Turn Samurai cons and people be like, "Oh yes, we like Turn Samurai. It looks cool. We're buying for our son and daughter," and your comic literally says for mature audiences only on it. You know, so I wanted something that all ages that I could sell to the kids, and I wanted something a little more mass appeal. So um, I kind of took my love for the characters of Batman and like that whole universe and whatnot, and kind of did my own thing, because like a lot of creations are born from like I can't write X, so I'm going to create a comic like X so I can do those stories and not get sued by Warner Brothers.
Yeah. Definitely don't copy
Uh,
Disney.
no, 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 no. That's a bad idea. Um. So yeah, so I created Screecher. Yeah, initially, Screecher, I had her in the chamber, but she was kind of meant to come later. But then I was looking at stuff because like initially I was like, okay, let's do another black and white comic. Make it cheap. And then I started doing Screecher. I realized, this needs to be color. So I was like, okay, fine. I'll flat it, and then I'll have someone do it. And then I just got a regular color. So it just kind of snowballed into more and more and more. And then issue 1 came out, and it was really popular, and I'm still very proud of that first issue of Screecher. Screecher number 1, like I'm like the comic book. If you were to ask me what comic I'm most proud of, 2100 Samurai number 4 is probably the one I would say. But I will say Screecher number 1 is probably the first time that I felt that I had made a comic that could rival Marvel or DC.
That's dope. So, what's the process of like, working with artists and, stuff like that? Like, how does that go?
Uh, it depends on the artist that I hire, and kind of like my familiarity and how easy they are to work with. But usually the way that I do it is so basically there's like a weekly check-in, bi-weekly check-in, and it's like, okay, you'll do 2 pages a week, 4 pages a week, or whatever we agree upon. And it's like, and they're delivered Friday at 6 p.m. You know, um, and so the artists, they deliver those pages at 6 p.m. Oftentimes there's delays, and I try and deal with that as best I can without tearing their head off. Yeah, like that's the kind of thing. Like, I don't know what it is about artists and deadlines and their phobia of such, but it's a thing.
I guess it's kind of reasonable. Um, because you want to get these issues out at a certain point.
Yeah, yeah, because yeah, you need all documentation.
But yeah, and then I guess how long does that usually does it take to work through an issue?
Right now my average is about 6 months, from hiring the artist to finished comic, roughly.
Okay. And then do you usually work with the same artist, or do you kind of like experiment or go different routes for like different series, or
Finding an artist that you can work with well, I find is very important. So what happens with me is when I find an artist that I click with, I tend to stick with them because there's kind of like this triangle of getting work. You have to be, it's like there's on time, easy to work with, and cheap, and you choose two of those. You know what I'm saying? And so usually when I find somebody that I can work with and does quality that I want, I tend to stick with them. Like the first like issues 2 to 4 of Samurai, and then the first 3 issues of Screecher were done by an artist out of Argentina. And then after Screecher 3, he told me he wanted to move on to other things, so he stopped working on stuff. We parted on good terms, and I did actually bring him back to do a cover. So like that bridge is very much intact. It's like we still got that bridge there, and I'm probably going to still work with him more in the future. But he's not actively working on the books anymore. So that was his choice. Fine. We're still buddy. So I brought in a new guy, Forrester, for Screecher 4, and that worked really well. So I'm going to be working with him more in the future. Like we got a spy novel kind of thing called Quartermain coming out. That's going to be pretty awesome.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So I guess, I mean, you don't have to release like, your own details, but typically how does like pricing work for artists in comics?
It varies. I don't want to release prices for other artists because, that's their own kind of prerogative,
Right.
Like I don't know because like that's their own kind of private thing, but it's done on a per page basis. So that's like sometimes when I'm getting criticism, like, oh, add more pages, I'm like, are you going to pay for it? Because like adding pages could cost me like another $500 of production or whatever. Like it gets expensive really fast.
Art is not easy, nor is it cheap.
No,
I'm sure.
no, it isn't.
Actually, that does bring me to a question. What are your opinions on like AI art?
That is a $1 million question of the moment. I think AI art is a good tool, a good toy. It's not ready for full scale production.
I agree.
Maybe like at the very best, it could maybe do like a cover or something. But like for as far as comics are concerned, I don't think so. And I find it kind of cringy the way the some people kind of push it. But at the same time, it does have its uses. I'm not gonna lie. I've experimented with it, AI. I've had fun with it. Creating images or whatever. Like, I think it's just gonna be a tool, another tool in the toolkit. But I don't think it's gonna be a full on replacement for artists.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of artists, especially, do seem to fear AI, but
Understandably, like I'm not even gonna knock them for fearing AI. I totally understand that one.
Yeah, well, I mean, today AI just seems to be coming after everything. 'Cause right now I'm working on a software engineering degree, and everyone's like, "Oh, aren't you worried about AI?" I was like, "Well, if it can handle a complex task such as, coding, wouldn't it also come after like everybody else's job at that point?" So
From what I've
I
heard,
would,
like when you have AI code, it is very messy, very sloppy, very like bad, like extremely terrible code. From what I've heard.
it can be, but well, I don't want to say that on stream. It's definitely helped me out, in certain ways,
I mean,
but
like, what's the difference? Like, I will say this though: what is the difference between bad AI code and bad code copied and pasted from Stack Overflow?
true, because I was
Because
looking
like
into
we
it
all
too.
know, a lot of programmers that they just go to Stack Overflow and find what they're looking for, and then copy and paste it. So
Yeah. So like, and I don't think there's any real way to tell if code is AI generated, at least not as of yet. Because you know how they do with writing, like how you
Well,
can.
even that is having problems because like there's a lot of like I remember hearing stories of like a person they write a paper and then it gets flagged as AI because they're looking for like AI phrases,
Yeah,
like
I don't think
with
those are foolproof.
they're not. I've heard so many false flags or like even somebody who does like an art style that looks slightly AI is accused of AI. There's a bit of an overcorrection with the witch hunt. I feel the need to point out.
Yeah, I guess you got two ends of the spectrum. One that's like, fully in support of AI, and supposedly people get triggered by the term clanker. I guess that's a thing. And then they're
It's
equating
it's
it to
it's
like,
it's an AI slur. I don't freaking
yeah,
care.
I discriminate against clankers. No, I'm just kidding. But
One thing I do want to note. I don't know. Did you hear the recent incident where somebody got kicked out of Dragon Con for selling AI art?
I did not know about that.
Here's where I call hypocrisy because if you go to any Comic Con, have you been to any sort of like Comic Cons?
I was in Star Wars Celebration Japan back in April.
Okay, so when you go to Comic Cons, if you go to the artist areas, it is full of like fan arts of popular characters and people sell this stuff, and it's great art. It is really like some really amazing stuff, but it's stuff of characters they don't own the rights to. You're familiar with that
Right.
concept?
Yeah, yeah.
And as a person who does a lot of Comic Cons, I can tell you it's written in many of the contracts to where it says you certify that all the items you are selling, you have the rights to the characters. Basically, no IP theft. So like, don't sell art of Mickey Mouse or Iron Man or whatever. Now, most cons turn a blind eye. There's a lot of that stuff in the contract where it's there, but nobody ever follows it. Fair enough. So my thing is, like, why are people celebrating AI artists getting removed from cons, but rampant IP theft is perfectly okay?
I guess I never thought of that
It
as
is
an
like
issue.
literally, it's in a legal sense, it's kind of a case of allowed use. I think that's kind of the term is allowed use when something is technically, like something is technically against copyright, but like the copyright holders kind of like, you couldn't do it. Like fan films, like fan art, fan fiction, a lot of that stuff. Because Disney could take down fanfiction.net and AO3 in like a second if they wanted to.
Sometimes I'm surprised they haven't because I think there was a Star Wars themed car wash in Argentina that they were trying to go after a while back. Did you hear about that?
Oh, Disney is notorious. Like, I think
Yeah.
somebody had like Spider-Man on their gravestone. There's like a daycare
Oh
that had
yeah.
Mickey Mouse stuff on their walls. They made them take it down. It's really stupid.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But what was it? There was something I was thinking of in regards to AI art. Oh yeah, so for AI art, because I use AI like almost every day, it kind of does help me
Mm-hmm.
with college a little bit, especially coding. But
Oh, that's the other thing. That's another thing where colleges are going back to like you have to submit it on pencil and paper because people are just submitting essays as AI and or like doing their math problems using AI. Literally, like I've seen TikToks of them doing it. So they've been going back to pencil and paper. So that's a real big problem on campuses.
I will not confirm or deny whether or not I've done that. No,
Probably
but
good. Probably best for legal reasons.
yeah, but what is it? I more or less like use it to help me with like in-depth problem solving and how do I get to this code? But
Yeah.
that's probably like one of my biggest uses of it. In terms of art though, I do use it for a lot of like concept art for my stories, like all my unreleased stories. I have like 10 different things that I've been working on for years that I haven't released, but I am on that novel that's like 70,000 words. Um, it generally tends to be better, and this is something I was talking about with another streamer recently. He said that I should use AI art as like or AI generated art as like concepts, which I do, and
Yeah,
I don't see
that's
anything
one
wrong with that.
instance where, yeah, like honestly, like I've heard of people when working with an artist, they'll generate like AI art as a concept art and then give it to the artist, as like a hey, this is what I was thinking about. And honestly, I could totally see myself doing that because like I'm not an artist, you know. So
Yeah.
like being able to visualize what I'm trying to do, I think would be really helpful. And if I'm just gonna have an artist, I'm not saying they need to copy the AI verbatim, just kind of like give them an idea. Because like I use reference pictures all the time. Like, hey, like this is how I want the ears to look. Here's a picture of Batman. Like here's a picture from World of Warcraft of a night elf. This is how I want the ears protrude out of the hood or whatnot. I literally do that. And to my opinion, what's the difference between a real reference picture and an AI generated one? They all get you the same place anyway. And as long as I'm hiring an artist to do it, and if the AI helps me get what I want better, I don't see a problem with that portion of it.
Yeah, I agree, and I think using it as basis, like for concept art, actually probably streamline things, and then helps you skip a few steps. So
Yeah.
I I don't know. I just think I feel like I'm kind of in the middle. I'm not like hardcore AI. I'm not anti AI, but
I
yeah,
think
on a
both
conceptual
extremes can
level.
get kind of. I think both extremes can get a bit cringe and a bit overzealous.
How dare you call them clankers?
You clanker. I'm gonna drop the hard C.
Hard C. Speaking of Marvel, you played Marvel Rivals yet?
I have. I did like a multiplayer Monday series stream of it. It was pretty fun.
What do you think of them character designs?
We're back, baby.
Dude,
I mean, honestly, this whole year has been like one like surprise after another. Like, the whole Sydney Sweeney has great genes whole thing. Like that commercial would have been like another really good commercial in like the 2000s or the 90s. But now it's like just like this political statement or whatever.
I just thought it was an ad, like nothing more, nothing less.
It is, and we have a comment.
Hello, Ellen. Ellen's one of the regulars here. He's one of the goats. Hope you're doing well, and yeah. Um, what was it we were talking about?
We're dropping some hard C's.
Some hard C's. I think I got my opinions on AI out. Unless you had something more on that. No, I feel like it was something else.
Yeah, they ran the course.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What else has happened?
Well, Screecher's happening.
Oh yeah, Screecher. No, I think you were
Yeah,
just talking about like controversies and stuff. Just how
yeah.
wild this year's been.
Yeah. It's like definitely. I think 2025 is going to be the "We're Back, Baby" year.
Oh, who's the company that's working on Marvel Rivals? I forget their name.
NetEase, like some Chinese company.
Yeah, well, they're doing it right. Unlike I guess Blizzard isn't a Chinese company, but
No. What's hilarious is Marvel Rivals wouldn't exist without Overwatch, and Overwatch has been having problems. But as soon as Marvel Rivals comes out, they start adding the sexy outfits back into Overwatch. It's very obvious.
Oh, I did not even know they were doing that because I just feel like Overwatch fell off hard once the second one came out, and then
Yeah, the second
NetEase, yeah.
one they pretty much scammed people because they took away Overwatch 1 and they made all these promises for Overwatch 2 and they like the single player and all that stuff and they never delivered them. And it really is a scam.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I would have actually played Overwatch with the single player because for one, I
Mhm.
suck at multiplayer games these days. For two, I actually like those like 2 minute shorts that they made. I watched almost every single one of them, and I think it had really good lore, and not just good Rule 34 content. Um, which is actually crazy how much has come out of that. But
I mean, we all know that BioShock Infinite walked, so Overwatch could
oh
run.
god. By
Like
the way,
you know the whole story, right?
which story?
So BioShock Infinite, you know that game?
Yeah, I played a little bit of it.
So apparently BioShock Infinite was so popular with the Rule 34, it actually helped innovate 3D porn technology. Um, and that's what really helped set the stage for all the Overwatch porn.
That is insane. I did not know it did that.
Yeah. Uh,
Because yeah, I didn't really get into BioShock Infinite that much. I think it was because I just played one and two,
mhm.
and I was also younger at the time. And I thought it was stupid that they were limiting you to two weapons, and then I just eventually stopped. But I mean, granted, every game has that nowadays, but in BioShock, it was nice to cycle through
Yeah,
like eight
it
different
was yeah,
weapons.
yeah, it was a Halo effect kind of thing. But like well, funny thing is, like, I keep trying to play Bioshock One, and I can never finish it. Basically, once I get to the once I kill Andrew Ryan, I just kind of stop playing from there. Um, but like Bioshock Infinite, I finished it. I played it on PS3. I enjoyed it. You'll find out in a couple of years.
There's an Overwatch 2, just Overwatch P2W. What's that?
Pay to win,
3D.
yeah.
Oh, pay to win. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Well,
3D porn technology.
I think the big thing is they wanted to switch the monetization model because Overwatch One had a loot box model, and they wanted to change to a battle pass model. Like, could you just like I don't know. The big thing is they stole Overwatch One from players. That's the big thing. They
Yeah, it
literally
doesn't.
stole that game because the Overwatch One app became Overwatch Two.
Yeah,
Um,
it's yeah, it's weird how they handled that whole situation. 3D porn technology. Some dude going to college. His parents ask what he's majoring in. You'll find out in a couple of years. Could you imagine if that was a degree? I don't know. There are some useless degrees out there, though.
I mean, honestly, just getting like a 3D arts and animation degree. Um, so what are you doing? I'm doing some rigging. Well, no, that's an actual term. When you're doing a 3D model, you rig it. That's when you know, kind of thing. So
Oh, yeah. I was watching. Do you know who Mike Burnfire is?
yes,
Ah, a man of culture. Yeah, I love him and Zach Hazard. They're freaking
yep.
hilarious.
Zach's gun rants. His I love his military stories. I don't need to poop anymore.
That what?
Also, like, I love. I was watching one of their videos. Essentially, Zach's girlfriend basically stalked him until he married her. She seems sweet and nice, but the whole story is actually kind of creepy if you actually
Dude,
listen to it.
I never heard of that.
I think it's like a Q&A he has with his wife. His wife seems nice. You know, I'm not trying to knock it, but the way she says it, like she admits, like, yeah, I kind of stalked him.
She was persistent. I gotta respect it.
Yeah.
But I remember watching, and I didn't get into Mike Burnfire until like this year. I watched one of his vlogs, and he was talking about how he went to college. I think after he got out of the Marines, or during, because I know he was a reservist, and pretty much he went to get like what is the animation degree called? Like whatever that is, and pretty much
Animation.
found out, yeah, and found out that it was useless because like most people with that degree don't really go on to become like, onto the level of like Pixar or anything like that. So it was like
Yeah,
almost,
that was actually me. Because like in the mid 2010s, I was studying being animation. I was basically gonna do like environmental art and video games. So like I graduated with an associate's degree. I got accepted into a local college. I was gonna go into their game design program, and then the expense, along with like hearing how bad it is to work in the game industry, I was like, nope, no, no, no. I'm going to stop this before I spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on something that's just because here's the other rub. So I got my associates in 2017. I would have started in 2018. You want to know? Like I would have probably been graduating 2021, 2022. That's when I would have been when I would have graduated. If you want to do like a 4 like okay, so I already had
bachelor's.
so like with my bachelor, so like maybe 2019, 2020, kind of thing. I would have been graduating at the worst possible time to look for a job in the game industry. Like the worst possible time. So
Oh yeah,
I dodged a nuke. I dodged a freaking
exactly.
nuke with that one because like let's say everything went well. So like I had my associate's degree, and let's say I only had to do 2 more years. So that's still like 2019, 2018. You know, so like even if I graduated in 2019, like it'll probably take me like even the best of time 6 months to a year to get a job. So either I'm starting a job, pandemic immediately hits, I'm screwed, or as I'm looking for a job, pandemic hits and I'm not going to get a job. So, and then after the pandemic, they just started laying everyone off, and the market is flooded. So I would have been screwed either way, like really badly.
Yeah, I heard a lot about people working in tech that were getting laid off, all the Microsoft and Facebook employees, even after like, the bulk of it in like 2022 onward. I
Yeah,
was
like
lucky
maybe I
that
got lucky because like they were doing hiring surges in during the pandemic. Maybe I got lucky, and for 2 years I had a really nice job working somewhere. I would have gotten laid off in like 2024, 20. I would have been one of those people. It's like yes, they were doing a lot of hiring surges, and like with my degree, okay, maybe I got like a 80 to 100K year job somewhere, work from home. Like okay, yeah, possible, very possible. Um, I would have gotten laid off, 2024, 2025, like Garrett freaking Teed.
yeah, you
So
definitely
even if
went
I
the right
had
route.
those 2 good years, even if I had those 2 good years, 2 maybe 3 good years, I guarantee I would have gotten laid off.
Yeah, that job market's kind of wild.
That's why I kind of
But
chose to go into business for myself. Make my comics, be my own boss. Like, I'm gonna call your manager and get you canceled and fired. All right, here's my manager's number. Hi, Nick Phoenix,
me,
manager. I love those stories. Um, when like you have a contractor who's working and the Karen's like, I'm gonna call your manager, get you fired. Okay, here's his number, and she calls the manager right in front of him, and the guy's phone rings and he picks it up. Hi, manager, and then she storms off. I love those stories.
that is hilarious.
Yeah, or even better, at a fast food joint. And it's like, oh, I want to talk to your manager. And the person literally just jumps and spins around and says, hi, I'm so and so. I'm the manager.
Imagine if they went out for a second, then got dressed and like, oh hey, I'm the manager. Like what was it? Was it in Avatar where the guy just puts on a different hat and calls himself by a different name?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, the auto mod got me. What'd you say, Ellen? I don't even know
I,
how to see your message.
it's so deep in auto mod hell that not even you can retrieve it.
Dang, how bad was what you sent?
Must have been
Um,
pretty bad.
I just go to college because I was in. He says I don't know what it said that was wrong to censor it. Did you say woman because I get censored anytime I say that or girl on Twitch?
But what is a
Yeah.
woman?
Uh,
What is a
uh, uh.
man? A miserable little pile of secrets.
Yeah, it's a thing. Sorry,
Yeah.
my girlfriend was baffled by the fact that sending girl or woman in Twitch gets censored.
Really? That's weird.
Yeah, because I'll go in. So I met Ellen in Soft Cannoli's chat, and I've been hanging out with them on Discord and whatnot.
Mhm.
But yeah, I would just type that in, and I would have to like work my way around it. It's funny though, because like anytime some kind of word gets banned, no matter what it is, there's always just another slang that comes about.
Yeah, like I see people like, oh, these TikTokers, and they use words like unalive. They use all these like, and it's like we do that so we don't get banned.
Yeah, I hate that about modern day internet. It's stupid. Um,
It's just YouTube the same thing. Like you need to be careful of certain words because then your video might get throttled or whatnot. So you got to be very very careful. Um, you know,
yeah, how do you handle that? Because I know you stream. You don't seem to like, be hardcore on censoring yourself. At least not like overtly.
curse words I tend to allow. It's kind of more the vulgar language. Um, you know, certain words I don't allow, like or like for example, I say German painter, Yahtzee, um, like that kind of thing. You know, grape, or I'll say like corn cob, or hardcore corn, kind of thing. Like certain words that sound like it. Like for example, I say corn cob, as a substitute for the other word. Um, like it's like what? And when you hear what I'm substituting for, it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Because just saying corn, it might actually still sound like the actual word. So I'll say corn cob. YouTube picks up as saying, oh, he's saying corn cob for some reason. I'm a robot. I don't know. I just know he's saying corn cob. That just means corn cob. But the human brain can once say, certain words.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how much they try to police speech that way. Let's see. Ellen says the amount of free 3D models you can download to do SFM type animations that have genitals.
Source
I followed
filmmaker,
this.
I'm imagining.
Mm. I followed this YouTuber years ago that was doing animations. They downloaded some models, and all the models had giant detailed schlongs for no reason. Third time worked. Third time was a charm, I guess.
Yeah, like that's also why you'll see like people put like asterisks in names, so like they don't, so it doesn't get picked up by the algorithm. Like you do that a lot with I see it a lot on Twitter when people talk about certain people. They'll put their names in asterisks so people know what they're talking about, but it doesn't, like the algorithm doesn't pick it up. Like, oh, here's all these people talking about Elon Musk, but if you put like an asterisk for the O or whatever, the algorithm might not pick that up and loop it in with that.
Or like how whenever people try to say certain words that are not okay, and they'll just put like the accent above it. I've seen that a lot recently. All the female models like Sailor Moon Raven and Starfire, big meaty cocks. God.
Yeah, with those ones, I'll just say, "Oh, you got a big chicken," and it's like, "Wait, why are you guys talking about chickens?" And I'll say, "What's another word for a chicken?" And they'll go, "Oh," because it's like one of those things where, like, when you think about it for just a second, it makes sense.
Exactly. Um,
Oh, now I'm remembering. So there was this. I think there's like this TikToker I used to follow during the pandemic, where he had this like Steve Irwin Australian accent, who's like, all right, everybody, show me your cocks. And it was just people sending in pictures of the chickens. And he would review it like he was reviewing it, like he would use all the language, like, "Oh, look at this beautiful black cock! It's so long and smooth." Like he talked like he's reviewing, an appendage, but they're chickens, and that's the joke: is send me pictures of your cocks, like that kind of thing, and they're chickens. It's a reverse. It's the reverse of it, and I think, as a person who loves puns and who loves that kind of reverse humor, I just found that just really funny.
Cow, poultry. Yeah, I guess you could call it poultry.
Yeah.
That actually makes me wonder, how do people stream Cyberpunk with that like intro? Like the character
There
creation.
is a not safe for work filter you can actually do, and a streamer mode. So what it does is, because that's how I stream Cyberpunk, is I actually had the streamer mode on, and then I also had the nudity filter on because I'm streaming, and so there's entire scenes where like they show boobies or whatnot. They just put like a bra on the woman or whatever.
That's lame, but it's understandable for stream.
Yeah, yeah. I
Especially
mean,
if it's not.
we know that every guy, when they're creating their male V, they turn that slider way all the way up. There's only one setting for that slider. Everything else is weak.
Yeah, that's facts. They need to take a page out of Marvel Rivals for that.
Oh, I remember the story where somebody was data mining Marvel Rivals models. One of them had a fully detailed love canal, if you know what I mean.
Oh God.
Yeah, and I think it was Squirrel Girl. She had a fully detailed tunnel, if you know what I mean.
Good. Let's see. I think the game has streamer mode or something that also removes music. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of that kind of thing. We call that front butt.
Have you ever heard of the game Repella Fella? It's unplayable live since the streaming mode's broken. I have not heard of that.
Yeah, I eventually plan on streaming GTA 5. That's gonna be pretty interesting because like I might have to like just turn everything but the dialogue off because like the problem with that is it'll just randomly play like copyright, like it's copyright music all over the place.
Oh yeah.
So I'd have to like turn all the music off. So yeah, that would be awkward. I know when I played Fallout New Vegas, I actually installed a mod that replaced all the music with like theme appropriate copyright free music.
Oh, that's convenient at least. But in Fallout, I do hear a lot of the copyrighted music in some streams and gameplay. So I'm surprised they
Yeah,
haven't
it's random. Like I know when I was doing Cyberpunk, even though you have streamer mode on and it doesn't play copyright music, there's actually still some instances where they'll play like I know when you have that encounter with fingers, it'll start like the radio start playing I Wish I Could See You at the Home Tonight, the PTSD song if you ever saw Edge Runners. And like a couple other instances. Oh, you never saw Cyberpunk Edge Runners?
I saw the first 2 episodes.
Finish the series. You need the trauma.
Yeah, I do need it. I haven't watched shows lately. I still need to watch Attack on Titan because my girlfriend's been pushing me to watch that one for years.
I've never actually seen it.
I'm surprised.
I'm more of an anime dabbler. Like I'm very much an anime casual. I wouldn't call myself a tourist because I do have a love for the medium that goes back decades, and I do have a love and respect for it. But like, I'm not like a huge anime fan, so I just call myself a casual, really.
Yeah, I would say the same for me as well. It's an Australian game, very unhinged. Oh, I see. I've seen some people who have a way to separate game audio from the recording, so in the VOD, it's quiet.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I need to look into that, but like, because like if I'm playing a game like GTA 5, I still want the dialogue and possibly the sound effects, but sound effects I can do without. I mean, they has subtitles, but like, I don't know. But yeah, I've heard of that. I have actually heard of that. So
Yeah, it sucks you can't play Roundabout while on stream. The JoJo song.
uh
Or wait, what was it? Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm like super into anime either. I just kind of got tired of like the shonen tropes. I like the more, I guess, adult one. What do they call it? Seinen anime.
I mean, there's plenty of other anime. Like I like the people who complain about shonen. They're only watching the popular anime. Like there's like I like mecha anime, so like I can watch plenty of like there's a ton of like really good mecha anime. Slice of life anime. There's so much other really good anime. Um, oh, Ellen actually raises a good point. Um, the amount of people using AI generated music to avoid copyright is on the rise. That actually, I will fully admit, is actually a really good use of AI music because, if you're streaming and you can't use copyrighted music, using AI generated music to avoid copyright, in my opinion, is legit.
I do agree with that, especially since having a little bit of music is nice. Although I just kind of stick with the non-copyrighted tracks, like the well, I haven't used Kevin MacLeod's yet, but I know a lot of YouTubers do.
See, my problem is what I do is Humble Bundle is almost always selling some form of copyright free music. Okay. And my thing is, even if you buy those, they're usually like really cheap. You put them in your stuff, they'll still trip up still trip the copyright. And like you dispute it, 30 days, it's gone. But even still, that's a huge pain in the ass. So what I have to do now is, if I want to use like one of my library songs, is I upload the track to YouTube, set it to unlisted, and wait to see if it trips up the copyright. If it does, okay, I don't use the track. If it doesn't, I'm good. But the fact that I have to do that is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it is. I bet. Let's see. Anime tropes have changed shonen from 20 years ago and the modern are very different. The evolution of stuff like delinquent animes, which now mean the opposite of what the original stood for.
Yeah, because like delinquent animes, I remember from like the 80s, yeah, like Rama Half and whatnot.
Yeah, I haven't deep dived. I think the oldest anime I've probably watched is Cowboy Bebop.
Oh my god. See, that's not really that old to me, because like to me, I like stuff like have you seen the original Ghost in the Shell movie?
That is a series that I've not been able to get into.
Really?
Yeah, I tried watching. I think it wasn't the movie. I think there was a show, right?
Yeah, there's been a couple of them, yeah.
Yeah, I tried watching one of them. I don't know, it wasn't my thing.
Try
But
watching the original movie. I highly
original movie.
yeah. And then if you're also looking for other good, like really good cyberpunk anime, there is Bubblegum Crisis. That's like 80s, 90s ish. Akira, it's a classic for a reason. Um, let's see here. Do you watch any mecha anime?
What is Mecha?
Giant robots.
I have not watched any. And so I think the
Obviously,
only one
the
I used to
gut.
watch was Gundam.
I really love Gundam Wing. I mean, that's kind of like the normie pick. Yeah, Giant Robots is Mecha. Yeah, Gundam. Another one I really like is actually I have the Blu-rays. Let me go grab them real quick. Let's see here. Visions of Escaflowne is one I really like. It's a mecha anime, but it has more of like a steampunk fantasy feel. Oh my god, steampunk anime. That is another genre. So this is Visions of Escaflowne right here.
Okay.
It's really good. The art style is amazing. The music. Yeah, Code Geass. And then there's also stuff like you could also get into Death Note. Trying to think here. Yeah, because like obviously there's a ton of shonen stuff, but like there's more to it than that. I personally love Dot X. Dot X sign is good, but it's a little bit slow. It's gonna be hard to recommend. I'm gonna say watch Digimon. Like Digimon actually has a bit of a better story than Pokemon. I would recommend it.
I never got super into. Well, I never really got super into either of them. But I know my uncle, who is basically like my brother, he's like 5 years older than me growing up. He
Yeah.
was super into Pokemon and Digimon.
Yeah, so definitely check out Gundam Wing. That's a good one. And if you're looking for more, and like Gundam series is actually really interesting. Oh, Neon Genesis Evangelion.
I've heard of that one.
Oh, and what? Oh, Gainax is like an amazing studio. Another one you should watch is Gurren Lagann.
Actually, that's one of the ones I started. I actually watched it with Lance, my co-host, and we just never really got around to watching. I think we got 2 episodes in. Just we got busy and then haven't picked it back up. But yeah,
Okay.
that's definitely on the list. Yeah, I feel like before I was like, I don't really know what to watch, and now it's like I have so many options with you and Ellen and everybody in the I've talked to just been recommending me like a lot of
Well,
different
the
anime.
problem, Metabots. No. What you don't realize is the tier list is like this. At the top is Monster Rancher. Then you have Digimon. Then Metabots. Then Pokemon. That is the actual tier list, Ellen. See, like the problem is, like you have like almost 60 years worth of anime because you go all the way back to the 60s for some anime. Like in the 70s, there's stuff like Battleship Yamato, Star Blazer came to the US, and then anime, the 80s when the anime really started to blow up in the US. But like there's so much of it, and it's kind of daunting.
Yeah, there's
You figure out
a
what
ton
you
of anime.
prefer. Action, comedy, sci-fi, fantasy. Anything, like literally anything you could want, there's probably anime for it.
I will say though, I do love Fate. Like Fate Zero is probably my favorite anime so far.
Okay, then what you should do is look for anime like Fate. What genre is Fate?
I mean, it's kind of mostly an urban fantasy.
Fate Stay Night genre. Okay, fantasy. I would not recommend Sword Art Online.
I actually do like Sword Art Online.
Have you watched Sword Art Online Abridged? That I'm actually a fan of.
I have not, but sounds like it'd be funny.
Oh, one anime I recommend. Have you seen Rising of the Shield Hero?
I've not heard of that, I don't think.
So there's this whole genre of anime that's kind of like taken over called isekai. Where like person gets sucked into foreign world. Okay. Yeah. I think I watched like the first 2 seasons of Shield Hero. I tried watching season 3. Yeah, it does trail off. Let's looking up like fantasy anime. Solo Leveling, I hear really good stuff.
Actually, my girlfriend just watched that. She loves it.
I think Excel World. Oh, Furian. Oh God, yeah, that one's really popular right now. I think you might have seen. Yeah, the third season cuts out for you. Yeah, I can't really pronounce it, but I'm gonna send you the Crunchyroll link on Discord.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, this one is I've actually been seeing a lot of stuff about it. Oh, have you watched Dan to Dan?
I have not, but my girlfriend has.
That's another one that I see a lot of people talking about. Chainsaw Man.
Watched a few episodes in front of me.
Yeah, Chainsaw Man is another one that I hear really good things about. The problem is if you go down the isekai rabbit hole, it gets kind of ridiculous really fast. There's literally an isekai about a kid who gets reincarnated as a vending machine in a fantasy world.
It's wild. Oh, and Ellen asks, have you heard of Knights and Magic? I might have. It was a chat from a while back, but have you heard of it?
No.
Let's see.
But yeah, like let's see here. As far as the steampunk, Last Exile, there's some good ones. Appleseed. The Appleseed movies of 2000, like Appleseed Ex Machina. Oh, Goblin Slayer is another one I recommend.
Goblin Slayer.
Yeah, but like check out and Berserk and maybe JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Well, I love JoJo's. I watched up to part 4.
Okay.
I love Jotaro.
I think
JoJo.
If you liked fantasy, I would say maybe check out Berserk.
Oh, that is definitely like up on my next 3 to watch.
An anime you need to see is Vinland Saga. You need to watch Vinland Saga. That is right up your alley.
Really?
It's basically like a Viking-ish kind of anime. I've heard really, really good things about it, and if you're like looking for like fantasy types, Vinland Saga would be perfect for you. I cannot seriously, if you're gonna watch anything, Vinland Saga would be what I recommend.
Yeah, I'll probably have to check that out. Though I will say I'm usually not super into fantasy in general, but I don't know, for something about Fate, I just think they
it's just you gave me an anime you like, so I was looking for like other stuff in that genre. That's because you didn't really get much to go off of. For me, I tend to like cyberpunk, mecha, more actiony kind of stuff. I've watched Vinland. There wasn't enough fighting, but it was good. Yeah.
Remember that a lot of anime is aimed at specific audience, especially isekai. It's like a power fantasy. It's why all the main characters are average height, black hair, black eyes, and barely any personality. I see.
One of my favorite isekais is, and I desperately want a season 2, is My Uncle is from Another World. So basically, it's about a guy who got isekai into a fantasy world, but it's after he came back. Okay. And so, like, he's come back. It's like 10 years later. He still has his powers from the previous world, and he's telling all these stories. And he's also a massive freaking Sega nerd. So if you're a fan of Sega, there's all these references. Like even the font of it is a reference to Panzer Dragoon. Like he gets a Sega Saturn and he plays all these games. It is so good. Oh god, wrestling anime. There's a bunch of those.
Great isekai, kimono michi, masked wrestlers suplexing knights in full armor. That does sound pretty dope.
Here, I'll show you my ultimate technique. Buddy hole in the stabby hole. It's not about wrestler, but he is a wrestler. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See, that's basically the formula of isekai is ridiculous thing in ridiculous place. What if I brought a hockey stick to medieval ages? 10 season anime.
Yeah, I do like some of these premises. That just don't really are just very weird, but they sound very interesting.
All right, I need to. I'm gonna send you an image, and it is like I was talking about the vending machine one. It's just wow.
My Discord's freezing.
All right. Yeah, check the image I sent you on Discord.
Reborn as a vending machine, I now wander the dungeon.
like that to me is like the poster child for just the ridiculousness of how ridiculous isekais can get.
Yeah, that does sound ridiculous, but yet interesting at the same time.
Yeah, that's the thing about a lot of these anime. Is like they have these ridiculous premises, and you watch them, it's like, oh, it's actually kind of good.
Also, the slime isekai and the spider isekai. Reincarnated as a slime?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, my coworkers were talking about that a while ago.
I will say this, though. If you're looking for an introduction to mecha anime, Gundam Wing is a good start. And if you want more, watch Neon Genesis Evangelion. Just know Evangelion can get kind of dark. And by kind of, I mean actually really, really freaking dark.
Okay, gotcha.
I think
the goblin isekai that develops into a harem, and it's so lame. Was it lame before that, though?
that is true, yeah.
All right.
All right, yeah. After we finish the show, I got a clip from Neon Genesis I want to show you.
Okay. Well, I think that's about all I had. Did you have anything else that you wanted to add?
Sign up for Screecher. Drop the link in the chat if you could.
Yes. Actually, let me get that.
We are going live October 3rd. We'll be doing a launch stream on my channel at 6, launching the campaign at 6:30. We're going for 30 days. We'll be going for about $1,800, and that is to fund the printing and shipping of issue 4. We will have issue 4 done by the time the campaign launches.
There is that link, and I'm gonna edit this up and put it into just a normal video. So I'm gonna include that trailer at the beginning of it, and
works for me.
Yeah. So, all right, but I think that will have to conclude this session. And thanks everyone who's gonna watch this. Thanks, Ellen, for tuning in, and other viewers. So we will see y'all on the Lethal Nonsense podcast next time.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
That's all we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, and follow us on our socials. Check out Lance's channel in the description. I hope you all enjoyed this podcast episode and have a great day.